everyone, I'm Paul, and I think everybody has the same problem. You've got a log that's too heavy to lift with your front end loader. So I'm going to show you how I lift it. As long as you have a 3-point hitch and you have a quick hitch, this is a nice easy method to lift a log that's a lot heavier than what can be lifted by your front end loader. So I'll basically show you here. The first thing you got to remember is that your tractor's lift capacity at the 3-point hitch has to be able to lift the log. The second thing is the capacity that your 3-point hitch is, or your quick hitch is rated for. That's the second thing to consider. And once you've got that all figured out, you can use a couple of chains. And what I can do here is I've got a cant hook or a PV hook, and if you want, you can lay your chains down along the ground, and then you can roll the log on. If the log is too heavy to roll by hand with the cant hook, what you can do is you can use the tractor but with the front end and just roll the log onto the chains. So the quick way to do this, an easy way to do this, let's put this here aside. So what you're going to do is, as I mentioned, you're going to take your chain, you're going to lay it down on the ground, and you can roll your log over top of it. Or if your log is off the ground a little bit like mine is here, what you do is you're going to pass the chain underneath. You're going to throw the chain underneath the log, and I've already got it set up here so that I brought it through. So you're just going to pull it around. Now the important thing is the distance that you're going to want is you're going to want to be able to come around on the top of your quick hitch, and at least one loop like this, so you can tie it like this after. So that's the length that you're going to need. So what you're going to do is take the bottom one. You take the bottom and you just wrap it around the bottom here and make sure that it's tight. And you're going to loop it, and you're going to bring it up here, and you're just going to keep looping it a couple of times, and then you're going to hook it. As you can see here, I just got to have grab hook here, so I'm just using a couple of grab hook chains. Now you're going to take the top of it, and you're just going to hook it. I'm just going to wind it here a little bit, and then you're just going to hook it up. Now the important thing is, what I did here, as you can see, I backed the tractor up right to the log itself. So that's the important thing, so you get as little slack in the lift as possible. The other thing what I did here is, this log is 24 inches on this end and 26 at that end, so I have the tractor offset a little bit so that it balances my log. Okay guys, I'm going to go on the other side and we'll fasten up the other side. Okay guys, I'm on the other side, and it's the same process. You pass the chain underneath the log, make sure that comes up and over, pull enough that you're going to have the ability to make a loop and to hook it, as I just did there. Now you can do this right away, or you can do the bottom first. I usually do the bottom up first, because if there's some slack, then I can just pull it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the chain on the bottom. I'm just going to wrap it around on the hook. Now the chain I got here is a little bit long, so it takes a second or two. So just have to wrap it. Now I don't need to bring the whole chain over, but I'm just going to wrap it here again on the top. What I'm trying to do is distribute as much weight evenly on these hooks as possible. So I'm just going to wrap it around twice, because it's a long chain here. Now that's not going to pull loose. Now what I'm going to do is take the top, I'm just going to wrap it around, and I'm going to make sure I've got it tight as I can get it. And I'm just going to try and hook it on. Might have to go a little bit more this way. Okay, so I've got it there. Now I'm all hooked up and ready to lift. Now the very important thing here is that make sure your tractor is warmed up sufficiently, because if it's not, you're putting a lot of strain on a cool tractor. You always want to make sure your tractor's at operating temperature to do any kind of max lifting. Okay, so guys, I'll let my tractor warm up, and we'll lift the log. The tractor's warmed up. I just turned it off so I can talk here for a second. What I'm going to do is just use the lever, and I'm going to lift it here while I'm standing beside the tractor, and then I'm going to move the log to where I want it. So let's get that done now. All right, guys, you can see here I've moved the log, but I didn't go very far with it. What I'm going to do with the log now is I'm going to take a chainsaw and I'm going to cut it down to size for my sawmill. And then once it's cut down to size, I actually can use the front end of the tractor to lift it up. One important thing as well, this log is very heavy. If you don't have any ballast weight on the front, your tractor could tip upwards or tip backwards. So make sure you got enough weight up front. So anyways, guys, this is a little tip here of how to move a log if it's too heavy for your front end loader. It works quite well. You can take the log from the bush and bring it out quite a ways. This way you don't have to drag it in the dirt. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. Thanks for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel, you can do so by hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you can, hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Gelling Outdoors.